Hello there, Rick here with a review of the Crossway Greek-English New Testament. The reason I'm doing this review is when I was deciding whether to buy this, I had a little difficulty finding information about it, the kinds of things that I was interested in, like the actual physical size of the book and the font size. So this will be a brief video to cover some of those topics. The Greek text is the Nestle-Aland 28th edition. It comes in a fairly rough cloth cover, which is 9.5 inches tall and about 6 3/4 inches wide. And I think it's something like 1 11/16 deep with the boards. What you have is a format with the Greek text facing the English Standard Version text. You have notes in the side margin, and I'm not going to go into any detail here in this video. You also have the textual apparatus, which tells you how the text differs in the various editions, various manuscripts of the Greek New Testament. The paper, you can see a sheen there as I turn it at an oblique angle to the lamp, but it's not too bad. It doesn't cause much trouble. The font is quite large, but there is considerable bleed through, as a number of the reviewers pointed out. Capitals, as you can see, are about as large as an 11 point Times New Roman, but the smaller characters are even larger. They're perhaps as big as those in a 12 point. Our appendices. You have Appendix 1, the codices that are used, that are cited in the book in Greek and Latin. And so it gives you the different manuscript, how it's designated, the century it comes from. I believe this is where it's stored, and the content. So P1 has Matthew 1, 1 through 9, 12, 14 through 20. Minor variations in the readings in the textual apparatus. It occasionally references minor readings and doesn't give them there. So you have to go to the second appendix for those. These are locations cited or alluded to. Most of them are here in the Old Testament. And you have signs and abbreviations used in the textual apparatus. This book is rather similar to this older one I have, which is the 28th edition, 27th edition here. 27th edition comes with a flexible cover with a nice map on the inside. It's much smaller. It is only about 7.5 by 5.5, so it's a much handier edition. It comes with the Revised Standard Version facing, and also the textual apparatus for the English appears, and it has citations where the Authorized Version and the Revised Version from the 1880s in the UK, where that is different. So this is a much handier version. It's less bleed through. font size is smaller, but it appears actually a little bit easier to read. Just briefly, we go to the end of the book of Revelation. Just show very briefly how to use the apparatus. So here we're at the beginning of the book of Revelation. And if you read up here in the Greek, and he showed to me a river of water of life, bright as crystal, flowing out of the throne of God and the Lamb. And you notice this little symbol here, T. If you go back and look in your dictionary of symbols, you'll find that it means that there's an insertion in some manuscripts. You go down here to 22 verse 1, and you'll see that an assertion, katharon, is made in certain manuscripts, including the Andreas family of the majority text. And in your King James Version, you find the word pure in the same verse. It's a useful text. English Standard Version on the right, Greek on the left. No maps in the back. No ribbon markers. Not oversewn. No goat skin. And just as I finish, just to point out that the English Standard Version text is the 2011 text. So this is a brief review of Crossway's The Greek-English New Testament, Nestle-Aland 28th edition, with the English Standard Version facing.